Access and SQL. And I'm going to publish the second homework on database. The third homework will be on data mining. And for data mining, we are going to need to have a session to teach you about data mining. So, first of all, we have two choices. I can teach you in a lab here, in this class as a lab, or my TAs can teach you data mining in another session. You know, so they should set up a time for you, and maybe on Friday or Saturday, and you go there and you learn that. So, if I teach that here, it's going to take one class of our time, and we are going to fall behind one more week, one more day, so we cannot cover one more chapter. We lose one more chapter, and it is very bad. So, who says I teach? Who says the TAs teach? So, okay. So there is another question. I can teach you Excel Miner. I can teach you Excel Miner, which is an add-in on Excel, an add-on on Excel, and it's an amazing toolbox that you can use for data mining. Or we can teach you a statistical analysis using Excel, using just normal Excel, because Excel has very good functions like line estimate and correlation and things like that that can be used to do a statistical analysis. Excel Miner is a very powerful tool, but to use full functionality, you have to pay probably. And there are some ways that you can get around it. You can just have 14-day trial and download it, install it, do the assignment, and just get rid of it. But the other way is that some online websites let you do Excel Miner online. But I have made you to buy a lot of things. So the other option is just to do a statistical analysis operations of Excel that are already next. So, who says we teach Excel Miner? Who says we teach statistical analysis of Excel? Almost unanimous. Okay, so later on we have to decide what chapter to drop, because we cannot squeeze it anymore. We have to drop another chapter.
Chapter 14.
14, Google?
No, the one that has like 13 different.
Oh, the cloud computing?
Yeah.
And it has also, we have also a case for that. So if I drop that, I should drop the case as well.
Are we dropping all the cases?
No.
Oh, okay.
So, that's about that. And okay, so let's talk about databases. We don't have much time. So, okay. Remember, we mentioned that data is an important asset. Actually, data asset is a very important strategic resource. Why? Because if you have good algorithms, good formulas, they cannot be a strategic resource if others can copy them. Others can just copy your algorithm and your formula and your methods. So they do not provide sustainable competitive advantage for you. However, if you have data, if you have a specific data asset, you only own that data. And your data is yours, and as long as you protect it and secure it. So data can provide you with a strategic, resource and competitive advantage, sustainable competitive advantage. So how can, so that data is usually stored in databases. So there are various software applications that utilize data in various ways. Actually, most of important software applications, enterprise applications are based on some kind of database. So ERP, CRM, SCM, they are based on databases. We talked about them. And the firms gather data through these applications, as well as using data through these applications. So we talked about CRM. I wanted to mention something that is not mentioned in the book. That's CDP. So Customer Data Platform. It is an advanced CRM that is more heavily based on databases and more heavily uses and utilizes the data from the database. And it usually has data mining tools and artificial intelligence portions, components, artificial intelligence components in it that can extract a lot of useful information from your database. So let's see what CDP is about.
Are you able to deliver relevant, timely, and personalized experiences to customers across all touchpoints? Or does the experience you deliver depend on a data lake where customer data comes unfiltered from siloed customer engagement systems? If so, all you have is a fragmented view. You can't see, for example, that items in an abandoned shopping cart were actually purchased in the store, which is how you end up making totally inappropriate offers. The Redpoint Customer Data Platform, CDP, provides a single point of control over your data, connecting it into a complete, accurate, unified customer view. To keep pace with the customer, the CDP ingests all customer data, batch and streaming, with near zero latency. With the CDP's drag-and-drop interface, your analysts can easily apply more than 500 data quality and integration functions, including advanced matching capabilities, to connect all data. The result is a precise, persistent, and continuously updated golden record, available to any enterprise touchpoint. The CDP captures all that is knowable about a customer at every point on their journey in real time. With the golden record, enterprises have a single point of control to drive hyper-personalized engagement and create a superior customer experience. A single point of control for data also provides the confidence that your advanced analytics and machine learning output will be reliable, accurate, and insightful. The Redpoint Customer Data Platform provides brands with the deepest understanding of the customer, continuously updated to drive key initiatives, including advanced analytics and machine learning, personalization, omni-channel engagement and optimization, and real-time interactions, all while creating customer experiences that lead to competitive advantage. Here's where to learn more.
So essentially, CDP is a kind of CRM, advanced CRM, that incorporates business intelligence in it. And it is actually a comprehensive CRM integrated with business intelligence for CRM. And it is actually a buzzword, and nowadays it is referred to in many companies and many industries. And it is an important term to know. CRM is the traditional term, and CDP is the modern term. So there is one more thing that I wanted to mention. That's about supply chain management. I mentioned something about upstream and downstream, but then I realized that many of you may not know what they are, what they refer to. Who knows what's upstream and what's downstream? Nobody. Okay. Well, you know.
Is upstream like getting the resources to build the product, and then downstream is selling it? Maybe?
Yes, it's yeah, very close. Thank you. So upstream is closer to the sources and to the raw material and to the suppliers. Downstream is closer to the consumers and to the retailers, yeah, and to goods and final products. So generally, what we have is this. We have earth. It is earth. Okay? And we have oil. There is oil in earth. We have copper. We have iron. What else do we have in here? We have trees. We have trees that are grown on earth. We have water. Actually, that is very important. And what? Gold. Yeah, you have gold. Yeah, there are many. So there are many resources or natural resources. We call them natural resources. Okay. So everything starts from here, and then up there we have consumers or people. Okay. So guess what? So which one is upstream? Which one is downstream? This is downstream, and this is upstream. I know that's stupid, but it is like they named them. So we start from upstream and go up to downstream. So from Earth, what happens is that we have an oil company, an oil extraction company, takes the oil and makes plastic. So each arrow is some material, something. And we have another company that extracts copper, makes wires. And then we have another company that uses plastic and uses wires to make, let's say, chips. And then we have another company uses iron for something and uses wire for something. And we have companies as boxes, or actually the boxes represent companies, factories, and processes generally. They are processes. So they are production processes and manufacturing processes. They have inputs from upstream, from the raw material, and they give goods or working process material. So even food come from earth, and then they are processed and go up, and eventually they reach to the consumers. So here we have, I don't know, we have cheeseburger, we have car, we have a pen. So we have things that consumers use. So that's how it works. It goes from upstream to downstream to people. Is that clear? Okay. So to imagine it better, to make a better understanding of this, I suggest you picture it like a mountain that has some sources, and there is a mountain like this, a series of mountains, and we have a city here of people. People are here, okay, and on top of the mountain we have a source for oil, we have a source for copper, for water, for whatever, okay, and then they just flow down the stream. And then in the middle we have processes. Okay? We have processes that process the material, make better things. Okay? And of course also they use energy. So I'm talking about material, but also energy is an input. And then at the end it gets to people. Upstream, downstream. If you think of it like that, it makes more sense. So we have upstream, up in the mountain, and downstream, people that live on Earth. People that live on Earth.
What about like a software? Like does Facebook have an upstream and a downstream?
Oh, that's actually a very good question. So software. So what do we use to make software? What do we use to make software? We use computers. Yeah. So we use computers, and people work, and then we have software. So the input, the process is software development, and then we have computers as input, something like that. And of course, people are also here. So workers also are here. Workers are here. So each process has another input that is worker. So we have, a process has some material input and also some worker. And the output will be software that will be used by another process or by other people. But that's a very good question. So when you have some information product, the information product has a little bit different supply chain. Yeah, you're right. So that's about it. And someone asked something about vertical integration in the last section. So vertical integration happens when you buy someone downstream, some company downstream, or some company upstream, or not buy, acquire. So it is about mergers and acquisitions. So when you have a retailer and you buy your retailer, then it is vertical integration because you are moving downstream. You are getting closer to the consumers, to your consumers. On the other hand, you have suppliers. You buy one of your suppliers, okay? You buy one of your suppliers and you make your own raw material, essentially. Then you are moving upstream. It is again vertical integration towards upstream, okay? So both of these are vertical integrations. And that's it. Any question? A question? So, next thing that I wanted to mention is that is software development methodologies. So, to develop softwares, especially enterprise software applications, there are different methodologies. Traditionally, they used waterfall methodology that is based on just project management for building houses and buildings. You know, so for building houses and buildings, what you do is you make extensive planning, and then you start building, and after building, you test it, you see it works, and then you start using it. That's it. Yeah, it's a linear progress. And they used it for software development. I used it for software development, and it's horrible. For software development, it doesn't work. So this is waterfall. So planning, then, so we have planning, then you have building, then you have testing, then you have review, then you have deploy. Okay? So, you plan, build, test. If it didn't work, you should go back and build. And again, test. It didn't work, go back and build. And you don't get to testing until you build the whole thing. So, you don't know what's going on, what you have made until the end. You are flying in duck. And at the end, you realize that, oh, you went in the wrong direction, or the whole project was a failure. Okay? And there is also another problem. If something happens in the middle of the project, if the team collapses, if someone dies, something happens, the whole project is absolutely useless, because you need to build, you need to finish building and testing, and you need to go all the way down to have something useful. Okay? So I have done this, and I learned this in the hard way, how horrible this methodology is. So a different methodology is something that we call agile. Agile. So agile does this. First plan, then build, then I'm simplifying. It is a simplified version. So, and then test, review, and probably deploy, or maybe not deploy. So it better not talk about deploy here. And then, so what's the difference? The difference is that we do just a little tiny portion of the project, like this. And then we go again, do plan, build, test, and review. Okay? So, we make a very tiny portion of the project, build it, test it and review it and see how it works, make sure that it works. Then we go add another thing to the project, another thing to the software. And then plan, build, test the new thing, review. And again, we have another. So this way, what happens is that you have everything under control. That's very important. When you are doing a project, it is very important to have everything under control. So you make something, you test it, you make sure that it works. You make sure that everything is fine. You start using it. Actually, you can use it. At this point, you have something deliverable, something usable. Yeah? And then you go to the next step. Add something. Plan something. Plan that I'm going to add this feature. Then add that feature, test it, and make sure that it works, and then start using it. Okay? So it has many benefits. One benefit is that if something happens and someone dies here, if someone dies here, you have something to use. Okay? It was not all for brain, all just lost cost. It is not be like that. You have made something. Yeah? The other thing is that circumstances change. So you don't know what happens, what the demand will be in future, what organizational changes you will face in future. And this way you have flexibility, agility. And this way, after you do this part, you see how people use the system, you see how the system works, what are your requirements, what are your capacities, and then you can make better plans for your next step. So for each step, you have some more experience and more knowledge and more awareness of your environment, and you can make better plans and better improvements. So the whole point is that instead of just doing big bang building and just making everything and using everything at once, do incremental development and continuous improvement. So usually continuous improvement is much more successful than business process engineering or business process design. Business process engineering is very dangerous. So one type of agile methodology is Scrum. Scrum is a famous type of agile. Another one is extreme. There are many different types of agile methodologies. A Scrum is something like this. They call each part a sprint. So we have one sprint and then the next sprint. So the project progresses through several sprints. And in each sprint, you make something, deliver something, and then you move to the next sprint. Okay? Each sprint lasts about 4 weeks to 6 weeks. And in each sprint, you add something to your project, add something to your software. Okay? You make some specific steps, specific development steps, and you move to next phases. There are other things that they use in Scrum. They have ceremonies, actually it is team meetings, so you should have team meetings for your project. And they have roles like owner, team manager, things like that. And they have stand-up meetings, so they should meet while standing up, so the meeting should not last more than 5 minutes to 10 minutes. And it should be a very quick meeting, and just updating the members, to update the members. And there are characteristics, specific characteristics for the Scrum. So Scrum is a set of guidelines or protocol for doing agile development. Any question on that? Okay. So if I had taught you this at the beginning of your team project, it would be much more helpful. No? So how's your team project? today is the due date. So you know that you should submit your link in the individual submission, team project individual submission. There was another Dropbox for the team project. So Canvas is some weird thing for group project, group submissions, and I tried to use that, but it was not very successful, and there were many confusions and many weird things happened. So I removed that. I deleted that part. So now we only have individual submission for the team project. So each one of you submits the link to your own channel, the link to the video in your own channel, alongside with the peer evaluations in that Dropbox. Okay? You don't need to upload anything. You just should type there or copy and paste there in Canvas and submit your submission. And it will be confidential. Nobody else can see your submission except me and the TAs. And the other thing is that any question about the team project. There were 1,000 questions. Suddenly there is no question. So, oh, by the way, if someone didn't work as hard or didn't work at all in your team, I hope we don't have such case in this class, but just in case, if someone didn't work, you can simply not give them the file, the video. So you make the video, don't share the video with them, and they can do, what they can do is that they probably can go to your channel, to your YouTube channel, and just record the screen, record the screen, and then upload it as a video. And of course, I can tell, and I will know that they didn't make the video themselves. They didn't have the file.